Cisco Firepower and HashiCorp's Terraform series, Infrastructure as Code, Day 0 and Day 1 deployments. All right, this is Part 4, Device Assignment. So we're going to take everything that we've learned up to this point, redeploy it, and assign a device to that policy. So here we are at GitHub. Here's a nice example Cisco has provided through DevNet. And we're going to use a portion of this code and build on what we've done so far. So let's jump to Firepower. And we can see we've got one targeted device for a current policy called Lab 1 policy. We're going to steal this device and shift it over to our new access control policy that we're going to build again from scratch. We can see we have a device here. So nice little pivots right from the device itself. Like Context Explorer and Health Dashboard, and we can see there's that Lab 1 policy. Let's go back to Access Control, and from here, we're going to go ahead and jump back into the terminal and get to work. So the first thing we're going to do is just look at main.tf. Again, you've seen the providers, the connection to FMC, the object creation, the default policy, the access rules that we've created, and some output that came from that. Now we're going to go ahead and apply to the device. So we're going to actually reference the device to get the ID from Firepower, and then we're going to go ahead and assign it to that policy that we've got an identifier from above that Terraform picks up, and then we're going to go ahead and apply that device. Now we're not deploying the policy. That's going to be in the next video. And then we've got some output here showing device assignments, policy assignments. So again, just seeing some of the output live on the screen. I didn't show vars and TF vars here, but I've shown examples previously. I'll make sure I'll do that in the next videos as well. I happen to miss it here. But we go ahead here and initialize. And then we're going to go ahead and apply the policy itself. So let's go ahead and do that. We can see, again, plan is part of this, right? As long as we didn't auto approve, we get a chance to say no here if we didn't like what we see in the output. We'll go ahead and hit yes, and magic starts. So we've got that URL object being created, our access control policy. We start getting into our rules being created, and the assignment of the device to the policy. Rule 1 and Rule 2. So you can see lots of automation happening real time. And let's go ahead. We're all done here. If everything worked, we should see our access control policy. We can see that. Oh, look at that. We've got a device now. It's targeted. Now it's saying out of date because we haven't pushed policy yet. We can see who modified it. It was Terraform API. Let's go ahead and edit the policy. Again, stuff that we're already familiar with. Right, we can see the rules that we created, the IPS logging. Here's the policy assignment. And we can see FTD 100 is assigned. We'll cancel out here. Let's go back to access control. Now, we're going to destroy this. The thing here, though, is that, again, you have to do it in a certain sequence. And that's important. And Terraform does a really good job of making sure that that happens. And there's some things that you can do to override that. We'll talk a little bit about that later. But you can see here what's going to happen is we're going to go ahead and destroy it, and it's going to fail. And I just want to show you this to make sure that you got the full insight into some things that happen when you destroy infrastructure. And so the reason why it fails here is because we need to assign it to a policy. So you can't just take the device and leave it empty. You've got to move the device and assign it to an existing policy or reassign it. And so I'll do that in future videos, but just wanted to let you know that you got to be careful with destroy.